So my name's Shaun Weston. I'm Managing Director of British Offsite. British Offsite is a supplier of advanced construction solutions. So we do a panelised building system made from light gauge steel for use in low, medium and high rise. And we also have a fit outside to our business where we produce kitchen, bedrooms and bathrooms. The British Offsite philosophy is to have a hybrid approach to modern methods of construction. So it makes the transition really easy, and you can insert our products into projects which have been designed very much with traditional in mind. So personally, I think what makes British Offsite unique is our approach to off-site construction. You know, we are born out of a housing developer, so we have a slightly different take on how we develop our systems and our product. You know, we are very much understanding and appreciative of traditional construction. So what we want to do is provide solutions which really enhance a traditional build process and bring in new techniques, new processes, but really to respect traditional construction, respect the status quo to certain degrees, you know, and that means that our products are accessible, and you know, you can introduce them into your project without having to feel that you've had to change your processes too fundamentally, but then at the same time still yield all the benefits that, you know, a modern construction solution or off-site construction solution has to offer. I think from a British Offsite perspective, the biggest challenge facing the house building industry is really indecision. You know, there are lots of changes happening in the space at the moment. Regulatory changes, you know, we have the building safety regulator coming into force, and particularly on high-rise buildings over 18 metres, high-risk buildings. And we're all still getting our heads around exactly what that's going to mean operationally. You know, we have to apply now 3 gateways, including pre-occupation, before you can start occupying a building. So that's making everyone kind of stop and pause. We also have new regulations around second staircases, and it's very much a directive in the industry. You know, everyone knows now over 18 metres there's going to be second staircases, which is absolutely fine, you know, and for the right reasons. But there's not really any guidance around it yet. So we don't know whether, you know, we can put our 2 staircases next to each other, or they have to be at other ends of the building. You know, it's things like that, you know, and that's causing some indecision. And then, you know, inevitably the planning system isn't really on our side at the moment. You know, the removal of mandatory housing targets has taken the impetus out of, you know, housing delivery or delivering of new planning consents. So I think bundle all of these things together, you know, there's you know, it doesn't help that we have a tepid sales arena at the moment as well, but all of this together means it's quite hard to make decisions on projects and to get them up and running and implemented. So British Offsite has helped its clients to overcome this by offering, you know, like we say, a slightly different take on off-site construction. You know, we are delivering a product range which isn't really too different from traditional. You know, everything you'd find in British Offsite's uni system is the products that you would find on a traditional building site. What we are doing though is processing and bundling them up and delivering them in a slightly different way. And what that means is that we can help with things like the new building safety regulator and high risk over 18 metre buildings, golden thread, all of kind of some of the new regulatory standards, because, you know, we're taking something that everyone understands, you know, like I said, the products you would find on a traditional construction site, but we're delivering them through a very finite, modern, you know, world-class manufacturing system. So that means traceability, accountability, and you know, it is very finite, it's very controlled, and it means that things like golden thread become second nature. You know, it's really easy to us, you know, something that we do as part of our processes anyway. So, you know, that's one example of how we're helping to overcome some of these challenges, particularly in the 18 metre plus high-rise residential development space. The change that I would really like to see in the house building industry fundamentally is let's get back to building. You know, there's so much like we said, indecision at the moment. I think getting the government to give us faster guidance on things like second staircases, on the building safety regulator, on new things like the London Plan, to get that formed up, and actually if the government can help direct the industry in a more timely fashion, I think we can get back to building. So I think really that would be my call to central government, to the GLA, and to planning authorities around the country, help us get back to building. At the end of the day, we're a linchpin in the economy, and we all want to deliver. There's an industry at the moment, and to be fair, it's not in great shape at the minute. And all we want to do is get back to building. I don't think it's too much to ask really, but we need some help. I think the part of British Offsite's future that I'm most excited about is how we can now branch out into different sectors. So, we are bred from a residential developer, and we've always been very resi minded. Which is right, and it's still always going to be a massive part of what British Offsite does. But I think we've come to the conclusion that our product is so universal. Actually, we can think about build to rent. We can think about housing association. And in the public sector, we can think about Department for Education, new schools, school repairs and extensions. We can think about healthcare setting, the NHS new hospitals program. We're excited about that. And some of these are longer burns. Particularly the public sector work. Sometimes getting on the frameworks can be a long process, but something that we're really committed to doing. But then I think there might also be some short-term wins. We have the rat concrete issue, and it's kind of it's a terrible situation we've all ended up in. But in actual fact, there are some solutions out there. British Offsite has some solutions, for instance, and we were really keen to talk to the schools and academies that are affected. Because at the end of the day, British Offsite is a delivery business. We're here to get things done. At the end of the day, in our first 3.5 years, we've delivered over 1,300 new homes. And we're we've launched our brand new factory, the Horizon Factory. And it is world-class manufacturing, and we have the ability to deliver 4,000 to 7,500 homes per year, or an equivalent number of schools. Like say hospitals, healthcare settings. So, we have capacity, we have solutions, we have a system, and we're ready to help, particularly with things like the rat concrete issue. So, and then like I say, those other sectors, they're extra feathers in the cap, particularly as the resi market is cyclical. In actual fact, to work with some of the main contractors, to work on these new schools, I think it brings stability to the business, brings stability to modern methods of construction. I think we need that at the moment. Unfortunately, we've had some less successful volumetric suppliers. Obviously, what British Offsite does is very different to that. But I think the industry needs a win. And I think British Offsite is definitely going to be part of that. So yeah, really exciting.